Hello, and welcome to the JungFaha channel. We're going to be talking about a book today by Greg Groeschel. I'm going to call him Groeschel. And I'm going to be reading the introduction. Why am I doing this? Because I need help. I'm pretty broken. Severe chronic Lyme disease. Currently, right now, like at this very moment, I'm in pain. Maybe, I don't know, like a 7 or 8. My joints are hurting, muscles are hurting. And all I had was a freaking chicken soup, and I'm dying. Probably had some MSG or something in it. So I figured, you know what? I could go and lay down, but let's go ahead and put ourselves here in this agony and make the best out of it. So at the current moment, I'm just pulling up another computer just to make sure that the stream is functioning correctly. And then we're going to talk about this book. How did I get the book? How much did I pay for the book? Why, other than obvious reasons, am I reading the book? And why I would like to share it with others. How did I get the book? How much did I pay for the book? So let's see what we can do. All right.
Whoops. All right, so now let's talk about this book. Let me put down the marker. So again, welcome to the JungFaha channel. The Power to Change. So I have a physical, I don't have a paperback. I got a hardcover of this, The Power to Change, Greg Groeschel. Zondervan, is that the publisher? So I'm going to go ahead and read what I have. So we can see in the image, that's what the book looks like I have in my hand. And The Power to Change, Mastering the Habits That Matter Most. Okay, so habits. Okay. Now, I got this book, actually, it's kind of funny. I was at the bank, not necessarily my bank, but I was at a bank. And they were offering it for free. I mean, how much does this book cost? This ain't cheap. The book here is $28.99 United States dollars, or 35.99 Canadian dollars. And I did donate a buck or two, but this is really, I think, a gem, even though I haven't read it. We're about to find out. And now that I'm having this in my hand and I got it from a bank, that's kind of funny. I'm thinking, bro, this is them talking to me, whether this is fact or not. Let your imagination use that. But they're like, bro, you're broke. You hardly have any money in your bank account. So we're going to give this book to you so you can start putting money in the bank account so we can do something with it. Because you suck. So I'm like, okay, fine. I suck. But I'm going to take this book and make myself make myself read it. But sitting there all by my lonely self and reading it, it's hard to get the motivation. So I said, you know what? Let me go online. I stream dumb games online. I might as well stream something that's educational. So here goes. So I just opened the book, the hard copy, and on the inside of that red part, there is a some text here, and it says, "Discover the path to true transformation." Let me get some more additional light around here. Few things in life are more frustrating than knowing. Few things in life are more frustrating than knowing you need to change, wanting to change and trying to change, but not changing. Pastor and best-selling author Greg Groeschel knows what it's like to be caught in that demoralizing cycle. That was his own story until he discovered practical principles for experiencing lasting change in the 25 years since, and lasting change, okay, period. In the 25 years since, Greg has helped countless others find true change in their relationships, habits, and thought patterns. In the 25 years since, gosh, my reading skills suck. Okay, in the 25 years since, Greg, with a C, has helped countless others find true changes in their relationships, habits, and thought patterns. In the book, The Power to Change, Greg helps you understand how God's power, not your willpower, leads to true transformation. The real reasons you do what you do, why failing isn't a failure, the power of creating small habits that lead to big change, and how to choose what you want most over what you want now. A powerful blend of biblical wisdom and fascinating psychology, The Power to Change includes helpful exercises, real life stories, and life changing spiritual insights. Whether you want to lose weight, breathe new life into your marriage, read the Bible more, get out of debt, or give up on addiction, the step by step, time tested strategies in this book will equip you to make the changes you long to make. Discover why you do what you do so you can become who you really are and live the life God created you to experience. Whew. Well, that's that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and skip to the very back cover, and I'm going to read. There's a nice picture of him. Let's see what we have on the website here. There, that's actually a very similar picture. Almost the same smile there. The hell? How did they do that? Same guy, same smile? I suppose that works, yeah. Give me a brief moment here. So let's see. Greg Groeschel. Greg Groeschel. Groeschel. I hope, please, I hope I'm saying it right. Is the founding and senior pastor of Life.Church. Okay, so to me, that's a website. An innovative multi-site church that created the free YouVision Bible app. Okay. I honestly, personally, I'm not really interested in all that. Um, I'm sure the book has good information, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, he is a New York Times best-selling author and has written 15 books, including "Winning the War in Your Mind" and "Lead Like It Matters." Oh, so he's written multiple books. Known as a leadership expert, he hosts the top-ranking Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast. Okay. And regularly speaks for Global Leadership Networks, which reaches hundreds of thousands of leaders around the world annually. Well, good to know. I want to be a leader. Teach me. Greg and his wife, Amy, live in Oklahoma. Oh my gosh, they live in Oklahoma. Isn't that like a backwoods part of the country? Cool. Hey, it works. Actually, wasn't there a movie made in Oklahoma by some famous guy? They did some shots here in Oklahoma. Was it the same actor? Oh my gosh. Leonardo DiCaprio, thank you. Leonardo DiCaprio did a movie here in Oklahoma. That's funny. Okay, so and around the world, Greg and his wife Amy live in Oklahoma. To learn more about Greg, visit greggroeschel.com. So let's look at here. Yeah, this is greggroeschel.com, and this is his book. So we're already on his website, and let's see if we can play a video here that he has. I put the link in the description as well. Let's see. Desktop audio. Let's see if this works. Play.
Well, if you're like most people I know, there's something about your life that you want to change, but you're having a really difficult time changing it. You want to get in better shape or be better with money or be spiritually stronger or have more relational intimacy. And you've tried, but you failed. And I want to talk to you about the power to change, mastering the habits that matter most, because hope doesn't change your life, but habits change your life. And the reason so many people try to change but they can't is because they really don't have a good view of themselves. What we know is that you do what you do because of what you think of you. So we're going to approach change a little differently. We're not going to start with the do, but we're going to start with who before do. When you change what you think of you, you'll actually change what you do. Hope doesn't change your life, habits do. We're not trying to change, we're in training. I'm excited to introduce you to the power to change.
Very cool. So, I mean, people do what we do. We do what we do because of how we view ourselves. That's not the first time I've heard that. And it sort of makes sense. So we're definitely going to see more. We noticed here that there is a workbook. Let's see, back up just a little bit. Yeah, so they have a workbook that comes with this. I'm sure we can order that. And I'm thinking first, I'm not really big on the whole religious thing. Uh, I would definitely want, a larger audience to be more intrigued on this. So don't let whether you believe in the Bible or God or different religion, we have to think about if we really want the change, we have to be cautiously open-minded to be able to acquire the information in order to achieve that goal, right? And the goals, the many goals that we may have. So let's look at their front page here. The power to change, feeling stuck no matter how hard you try to make positive changes in your life? Question. It's time to break free from trying and finally transform your life. Well, I sure hope so. I need a transformation. And I'm sure many of us need a transformation, and we could definitely appreciate that. And we have to believe. Even if we have to fake it till we make it. Like some people like, no, I can't change. I'm broken, blah, blah, blah. Well, fake it. I'm going to change no matter what. No, it might not be easy, but sometimes lying to yourself and can be beneficial. Again, constructively done. And in this sense, I'm going to believe now. Whether I actually believe what I just said or not, let that to your imagination. But I'm going to believe, I'm going to change. And one of the main reasons I want to change and I want to improve myself is because I want to help others. So hopefully this will help in achieving that goal because I know that I can be happy if I help others. Now, what about you? Okay, so you can start living the life you want through the practical, biblical, and highly doable strategies and the power to change. Okay, so I actually read this. It's actually in his book. Let me just make sure that is everything I read. No, it's not. It stops. How to choose. Okay, powerful. And then it changes right here. All right, so right, I'm going to highlight this. right here is where it stops in the book, then this is additional for the website. So we're going to go ahead and read that. In the Power to Change workbook, okay, so yeah, there's a workbook. I don't have that. Greg reveals that it's time to actually change by learning to master the habits that matter the most. In each section of this workbook, you will gain practical tools that will help you. Okay. Evaluate how you think of yourself and how you view and your view of God. Interesting. Now, that's a whole nother subject, but I am thinking of making a uh, biblical facts playlist at some point in the future. Because again, personally, I don't do religion, but I'll do facts all day long. And the Bible has lots of facts. So beneficial. Again, that's a different subject. Learn the value of training over just trying harder. Discover why habits rather than hope lead to lasting change, and the employ the reap sow principle to change the trajectory of your future. Recognize God's power as a true catalyst to lasting life change. Okay, sure. I mean, the Bible is, after all, a manual for humans, right? I mean, you get an uh, you know, uh, IKEA chair or whatever, an IKEA uh, cabinet or something, right? I mean, it comes with an instruction manual, right? Going life without an instruction manual it's called learning things the hard way, and people tend to be miserable, including myself. I've definitely learned things the hard way, and unfortunately, I'm still doing it. That's why I've started looking for books like this, or more like it found me, because it was given to me practically free. Whether you are trying to lose weight, breathe new life. Okay, so you read that part, marriage, read the Bible more, get out of debt, or give up an addiction. Craig's step-by-step time-tested strategies will equip you to start living the life God wants for you. Well, yeah, I mean, I do believe, and again, if someone is agnostic or atheist or whatever, um, you have a purpose here on earth. You weren't born by accident. And if someone even believes that, my condolences. But if someone does believe that, you know what? I believe in you. I mean, the fact that you're here listening to this means so much. You have a purpose, and I hope that you can find it. In the Power to Change 4-part video workshop. So they have a 4-part video workshop. Let's click on this link here. Whoa. Did that not want to work out? There we go. Oh, it did. No, it did. So he's got a YouTube channel as well. Interesting. So I'm going to link this in the description. It's not there right now. I just found it.
All
But
right.
whoa. Go back. Yeah, so I'm going to link that for sure. All right. That's good. It's good to know. So let's see if I can add that right now without it interrupting the stream. Let's see. Studio mode. Open studio? Does that work? Is that a thing? Yes, no, maybe? Edit? Okay, it looks like I can add it. So other credits, I'm going to put YouTube and what was on the page there? The Power to Change 4-part video workshop. So other credits, make sure everybody gets their credit. And then I'm going to go back over here and get the link. Yep, I got the linky. And it should populate in the description shortly. So maybe refresh your page in about 30 seconds if you're watching this live. I'll go ahead and try it on my end, see if it worked. Yes, actually it did work. Nice. Okay, excellent. Almost as if I knew how to be a little techie guy. So, a 4-part video workshop. Awesome. Then we have people's, saying good things about him. I'm not going to bother reading that. And let's go ahead and get to the book. All right. So I'm turning the pages. Again, I have physical copy. Get that freshly printed smell from the book. Okay. So the contents, introduction, wanting to change, page 1, and then part 1, who not to do, which starts on page 9. So again, today we're just doing the introduction. And if you like this video, if you want to hear more about it, please encourage me. Say something in the comments, like, subscribe, whatever, because I think that we could all benefit from this. So here I go. I'm on page 1, introduction. So there's that looks like a power symbol on the top right. It's actually the same symbol that we see above the in the title there. And wanting to change. There are few things in life more frustrating than knowing you need to change, wanting to change, and trying to change, but not actually changing. How do I know? Because I have tried so hard, so many times to change, only to hit the same brick wall of failure time and time again. Before I started learning to master the habits I'm sharing with you in this book, that was my life. For example, knowing my eating patterns weren't healthy and wanting to do better, I repeatedly tried to change my diet. I made commitments to eat only healthy food. I would succeed all day, but by evening my motivation withered and my willpower weakened. I would end my successful day of eating right with a little bedtime reward snack of brownies. Pause right there. I'm gonna be a little hard. Shame on you. How dare you eat those brownies? Okay. Now let's go back to the book. And something salty. Maybe chips and salsa. And a little ice cream. Oh my gosh, man. Chips, salsa, ice cream, brownies? Bro. Dang. Uh, I'm guilty. I mean, what did I eat the other day? Okay, I ate. Oh, I think it was like goat cheese, pickles, and applesauce. Goat cheese, pickles, and applesauce. What the? All together. So, you think this guy's bad? I'm no better. Goat cheese does have some health benefits. So do pickles and applesauce, but I mean, just the three together are just kind of weird. Okay, the next morning I'd wake up feeling guilty. Yeah. And do the walk of shame to the kitchen to see the evidence in the sink and in the trash. Determined to do better, I would eat healthy breakfast, followed by a nutritious lunch and dinner. But then, a bedtime snack of cookies and chips and cheesecake. Dang, this guy can't even go 12 hours without missing. Finally, I would feel defeated and quit trying. It seemed I had the desire to change, but not the power to change. You've been there, right? You've tried to change. You've tried to change too. It hasn't worked for you either. But why? We want change. We want to change. We want life to be different. We long for more. Sound familiar? But honestly, we get tired, exhausted, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or all the above. Change is hard. Trying to change is draining. Our problem is a deficit of power. Add to the exhaustion of our sense of shame because we keep settling for less, we feel frustrated. Like I would during my morning after walks into the kitchen. We begin to despise our desire to change and our apparent inability to do so. Here are some common behaviors so many of us desire to change. First, there are the starts, as in, I'm going to. I'm going to grow in contentment. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to feel closer to God. I'm going to breathe new life into my marriage. I'm going to get out of debt. I'm going to be consistent in my Bible reading. I'm going to escape a toxic relationship. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat healthy. I added that part. And I'm just going to be a better individual. Also added that part. Back to the book. Then there are stops. Air quotes. As in, that's it. I'm done with it. Quotes. Stressing out, showing frustration, being impatient, being late, overeating, drinking to excess, procrastinating, thinking negatively. Whether or not I listed any of your starts and stops, you know your problem. You've wanted that, quote, something to change for years, but you can't seem to find the silver bullet. If you journal, maybe you've looked back on what you wrote years ago and realized you're still writing the same thing today. Or maybe you've been going to a counselor for quite a while, but feel you aren't progressing like you hoped when you began the visits. You're struggling with the same old issues, still hoping for that elusive change to come. What makes all this so much worse is that you've tried really hard. You haven't sat down, you haven't sat around doing nothing. Over the years, you've made a bunch of decisions and commitment, and New Year's resolution and attempts to set goals. Actually, the same decisions, commitment, and resolution and goals. Oh, did I read that again? Oh, no, I didn't. That is correct. Actually, the same decisions and commitment and resolutions and goals. Because again, you know what needs to change. You have decided to finally do something about the issue over and over and over. Yet so far, nothing has worked. I'm going to add, or very little. There's a good chance you hate that about yourself. It's embarrassing and creates regret. Each time you try again to change and fail, you feel worse. You look in the mirror and say, man, you suck. But you manage to shake it off and go back to your comfortable same old life. Then you get fed up with your problem again and you decide to change again. Eventually, you fail again. This time, you're not just mad at yourself. You feel ashamed and internalize the failure. Rather than thinking, I failed at changing, you think, I am a failure. I have failed at life. I have mixed an emotional cocktail of self-hatred and shame. You have a mixed and emotional cocktail of self-hatred and shame. Here's a question that's hard to hear. What if you're in the same place years from now? Oh my God, please no. That was me adding that. Wanting to change but still doing the same things, living the same life? No, please, God, please. Please. I've got to be better than I am now. That I also added that. I know this sounds depressing, but if you haven't seen the transformation you've wanted in recent years, why assume you will in the future? Déchiré. You will some You will some How will something change if nothing changes? Tragically, this is where many give up. They say to themselves, I can't change, so I'll stop trying. I guess this is just who I am and how I am. And I add, ouch. Does all this mean you're incapable of change? Question. Does it mean God doesn't answer your prayers? Question. And for those that don't do God, we can also add, or however you want to do it, something along, is this all the universe is going to give you? Is this it? Oh, let me pause there real quick. Hey, what's up, Team Western? I just noticed you texting there. Excuse me, I've been really, really deep in this book. I've ups and downs, man. Ups and downs, Team Western. I've been sick very often, chronic Lyme disease. I'm hurting so much right now. I thought I was eating something that was quote unquote healthy for me, which is chicken soup, and it turns out that I'm hurting a lot because of it. But instead of going in my bed and crying about it, I'm forcing myself to read this book because I want change. Damn it! So yeah. So good to see you, Team Western. When I get a chance later on, I'll go on your Discord and just make sure that your permissions are set right. I did notice that you have a population of like 24. I thought we had a lot more people than that on the server. Anyways, let's talk about it at a different time, preferably through Discord. Thank you for asking, by the way. I hope you're doing well. All right, back to the book. Does it mean you are trapped with the same annoying problems for the rest of your life? Really? Am I trapped with all these problems for the rest of my life? Not at all. You can change. I promise. More important, God has promised, or for others, the universe has promised, that change is possible for you, just, I, just as I learned it was for me. But there's reason change doesn't come. Scratch that. There are reasons, as in plural, there are reasons that change doesn't come with an S. Bad news, we don't experience lasting change because we try to change in the wrong way. Bad news, we don't experience lasting change because we try to change in the wrong way. So it means we're trying to change, but we're doing it wrong. So there's an attempt, but we're not doing it right. Apparently. Apparently. Yeah. Yeah. Good news, we can learn how to change. Okay, so changing is a good goal within itself. Of course, a change for the better. I would hope that people have goals for change for the better. But good news, we can learn how to change. So how to do it is important. And great news, we're going to learn how together in this book. Cool. Teach me, Sensei. We're going to access the power to change by mastering the habits that matter most. Here's the plan I've laid out for you to accomplish change. Each chapter contains, first bulletin, a foundational concept to bring about and build upon change, supported by personal experiences, stories, examples, teaching, and scripture. All right, show me what you got. Bulletin number 2, a practical exercise for you to engage with and apply the truths I've given you. Personal comment. I mean, he is the writer of the book. I just feel I feel a little conceited from the author. Hmm. We'll scratch that for now. I'm in a lot of pain. Pain causes a lot of issues. Like I'm sitting at a 7 right now. The guiding principle to encourage and inspire you towards change. A Bible verse from the Father's heart. Or a Bible verse from the universe. However you want to see it. In part 1, you'll evaluate how you think of yourself, okay? Your view of God or the universe. We're going to see how we can fit all this in. Because I've never read this before, so this is uncharted territory. And the future you. The future me, the future you, the future us. Okay? In part 2, you'll learn the value of training over just trying harder. Okay, good, because now I'm getting stomach issues. I drink some kombucha real quick. Part 3, you'll discover how hope doesn't change our lives, but habits do. Okay. In part 4, you'll see how the reap-sow principle can change the trajectory of your future. The reap-sow principle. Okay. Okay, cool. In part 5, you'll grasp how God's power can become the catalyst for lasting change in your life. Or the power of the universe. And however the viewer wants to metabolize that. For you to master the habits that matter most. Now, mastering habits is for anyone. I am offering you a clear path to get where you have always wanted to go, the same one I have followed for many years. If you are ready to start living the life you've been hoping for and dreaming about, let's uncover the first mistake we make in trying to change. Then I'll offer our first solution. Are you ready? To experience change that lasts, focus on who, not do. What? Let me read that again. To experience change that lasts, focus on who, not do. Focus on who, not do. Man, this is mind boggling. This is honestly taking a perspective that I have not taken. Exercise number 1. For our first exercise, let's say some groundwork by personalizing this introduction. I'm going to ask you to write down the behaviors you want to change. Oh, goodness gracious. The behaviors I want to change. Oh my gosh. Let me pull out the scroll. Because I got a lot of behaviors I need to change. But first, I want you to forget the times you have attempted to initiate a change. You're asking me to forget stuff now? Actually, I can do that. I'm pretty good at forgetting things. But first, I want you to forget the times you have attempted to change any start or stop. To wipe the slate clean. Wipe the slate clean, okay. To wipe the slate clean, allow yourself some grace and agree to make a new beginning. You may have the same goals, but you'll have a fresh approach. Now, this is definitely a fresh approach. Considering any change you desire, even one you may have given up on a long time ago, and let this be a reset, a refresh, a revival for you or for us. Write down your starts. Okay, let me get a book here. Goodness. I mean something to write down with. Okay, I got something to write down. I'm doing it old school. Physical paper, physical notebook, and an actual pencil. Well, it's plastic pencil, but it's mechanical. Write down your starts. Behaviors you want to change. Write down your starts. Okay. I'm going to write down starts. And then behaviors. Ooh. Behaviors you want to start. I'm pretty sure I'm going slow enough for anybody to follow. If they would like to follow along and do this as well, go ahead. Get a book. Get a notebook, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just throw yourself into it. Behaviors you want to change. Okay. Behaviors you want to start. Behaviors you want to change. Oops. Behaviors, I'm going to put I want because this is personal. Behaviors I want to change. Okay. Oh my gosh, that starts. I'm going to go with a whole new page or the backside of this and then stops. And this is going to be called behaviors I want to get out of my life. Behaviors I want to get out of my life. Behaviors I want to change, and behaviors I want to get out of my life. And finally, if God told you that you would miraculously change one thing in you right now in this moment, what would you change? So, again, not everyone is going to believe in God, in a God. Some people believe in just they know there's something out there. Some people don't believe in any God. Some people believe the universe, whatever, matrix, whatever you want to call it. So go ahead and put what you're comfortable with. And some people use God's name, Yahweh. Others, uh, yeah. Okay, so, and finally, so I'm going to put this also on the very bottom. No, I'm going to make new page. Forget it. If, now here it says if God. Now go ahead. I'm going to put if blank, if the universe, whatever floats your boat. I'm going to go ahead and put something personal there myself. This is personal, so I'm not going to put the name that I put down. But if blank told you that he, they, it, whatever, would miraculously change one thing in you. Now this is for me, so I'm going to put in me. If blank told me, I suggest a pencil. I'm doing a lot of erasing here. If blank told me that he, they, it would miraculously change one thing in me. Goodness, I skipped the one thing. Change one thing in me. Well, one thing in me, comma, right now, in this moment, what would, says you, but I'm going to put I, what would I want it to be? Question mark. Okay, so I got 3 pages here. One says, if blank, oh, excuse me, let me start, yeah, here. Starts, behaviors I want to change, and stops, behaviors I want to get out of my life. And last but not least, if blank told me that he, they, it would miraculously change one thing in me, or you, right, right now in this moment, what would I want it to be? What would you want it to be? Now I'm going to go ahead. That's the funnest thing so far. So I'm going to answer that first, and I don't mind sharing with you. But I would want my immune system to change, where it was so smart, so intelligent, so powerful, and I would want my healing capabilities in my body to change to the point where it would miraculously heal my body, heal me from chronic Lyme disease, and heal the damage, so that I could just live in I can just live with pain free. I could really use that. That's me personally. If I could miraculously change something, it would be having a body that can fully heal itself. Because with a healthy body, I can do anything. Yeah. Okay, so to experience principle number one, I'm going to go down. I haven't answered starts or the stops yet. I'm going to go down to the last bit of this introduction, and it reads here, principle number one, and there's a box around it. To experience change that lasts, focus on who, not do. For I'm about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Isaiah 43:19. For I'm about to do something new. Sounds like that's the creator speaking there. See, I've already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness, and I'll create rivers and dry. Now, that's very interesting. We're here to focus on the book. If anyone would like to speak about Bible stuff, I'm definitely highly considering of making making dedicated videos on Bible questions. Been thinking about this for a while. It's about time I actually did something about it. Okay, behaviors I want to change. Due to fatigue and I'm not feeling too well, you guys are gonna have to go ahead and fill that out yourself. If I'm gonna change any behaviors, I want to change my impatientness to patientness. Is that a behavior? What is a behavior? Let's look up. What is a behavior? Define behavior. Did I spell that right? Oh my gosh, I did. A manner of behaving, whether good or bad conduct, mode of acting, manners. Deportment, something when used absolutely implying good breeding or proper deportment. Implying good breeding? Really? What? Okay. Figuratively, the manner in which anything acts or operates. Okay. The act of representing another person, the manner in which one personates the character of another. Behavior. Manner of behaving. Goodness, I'm running out of juice here. Okay, so how one acts. I want to. What do I want to change? I'm gonna have to get back to that. We'll start when we do chapter one or part one. We'll start with recapping the introduction. I'd like to thank you so much for dropping by and watching this educational video from. By myself. I want to also thank Greg Groeschel to inspire us to read his book or to actually have made the book. How about that? I think I was pretty much inspired on my own. And yeah, just pull it off the shelf, honestly. And yeah, so take good care. Look forward to hearing good things, and I hope this will reach many and help many. This is JungFaha signing off.